So it's been a while since I did like a melody guide. Honestly, I didn't even realize that. So today I want to go through a couple of things in simpler terms than I think I have on this channel before, but then also touch on a few topics that I don't think I've ever like explicitly explained before. And then hopefully by the end of it, you'll be able to make like good melodies and shit like that. I mean, obviously, right? But so first thing I want to talk to you about is like layering, obviously, but like more from a sound selection point of view, but also explaining like why layering is important in the first place. So like, let's say we want to do something acoustic today, and like that's the way we're going to be selecting sounds, and we can walk through like how we're going to select sounds for that. So the first thing I want to do is pick the piano. So we're in BBC Symphony Orchestra, and it has a really dope piano, but it's kind of quiet. So I'm just gonna like patcherize it, and then so I can sound design it. And the only thing I'm really gonna do is add a radiator wherever that is, right there. Let's cycle presets. I think vocal warmer will be fine. Turn the noise off. Turn the mix all the way up. Okay. Probably a little too much. That'll work. All right, then the last thing I probably want to do is maybe chain like a RC20 in between that. And so this is just me sound designing the sound before I like put it through the mixer, because I like to print audio. So it's just like fun to be able to do stuff like that. All right, cool. And then I like that because in Patcher, that noise will only play when like the MIDI is playing or when like the sound is playing or whatever. So that's dope. I really like that. Still though, maybe change the noise type. I like that better. Maybe add some space. Cool. I like that now. And we're just gonna keep this like simple so I can very clearly demonstrate the concepts to you today. So the first thing we're gonna do is lay down some basic chords, because that's the easiest way to layer stuff is with chords. So let's just, well, first I'm gonna go to a slower tempo so I can actually like record it, because what do I look like trying to record at 150? But then boom. All right, we can fix that last crappy note real quick. All right, cool. So now we're just gonna shift some of those notes to give it a little bit more of a human character instead of just like manually quantizing it. Okay, now that I have a dope chord progression, I actually like to work backwards. And so BBC Symphony Orchestra is a really dope VST and it's free. So we'll stick with like free stock stuff today, because I think that'll make this tutorial like the most useful to everybody. So we'll go to Flex so I can kind of explain to you what I mean by work backwards from here. Because once you have some chords that you like, or a motif, or any kind of like melody top line, it could be anything, right? You just need something cool to start with. Bro, where is Flex? There we go. And so from there, now you can begin to just use that melodic concept to create ideas. So the first thing I'm going to do is go back to that tempo I wanted, so like 154. And so now I'm just going to go through Flex and find like a pad that I like. This like dark, maybe if it's an orchestral pad, that would be great, but just any kind of pad that has like a nice texture. I don't even know what that is, but that sounded cool. What sound is that? What sound is that? Dark resin, like what the heck? I love that. That's great. That's exactly what I want. I don't even know how I landed on that. Wow, that's incredible. Okay. So let's change the key. I've been really liking like F sharp lately. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's got me in a chokehold. It is what it is. But what I'm gonna do now is just mute that for now and then build some kind of like texture off of these chords that will fit well with like an orchestral vibe. So what I want to do is build the texture first, then test it with the piano. I like that, but I want to make it more like an accent. So I'm gonna try something right now. Not an accent, but like more like a texture. Let's try to like arpeggiate it, but like a lot, like a few octaves. That shit kind of hard. I just want to take off a little bit of the effects and flex so that like I can add some later. I want it to be like actually a little bit drier. I think with the reverb, well, cause yeah, there's only reverb right now. Like, is that not crazy, bro? What? No, bro, that is insane. Wow, that's actually crazy hard. Well, I want the option to space it out. So right from there, like we've got that texture. Well, so let's test it with the piano. Like I said, got to check if it's going to sound good with that orchestral vibe. It's better like that type shit, but no, it's perfect. And then I just need to change this chord a little bit actually, because I'd rather it match up with that last one. Tight. So that's the first sound we're actually gonna export, and that's like our first layer kind of like done. That shit sounds so hard, bro. Okay, so next I think I'm ready to add in the keys, but I want to finesse a few things just based off of what I'm hearing. And this is me kind of just getting to talk through some stuff I don't think I've ever talked through in the channel before, mostly because like it's new stuff that I've learned, but also like I don't know, I just never had a way of like basically talking about it. But basically, so I want this piano to like fit better. So here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go up an octave. This piano texture is already fine as it is. So what I'm gonna do is render that. Boom, 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 boom. So we need some effects on that piano to make it sound like, I don't know, cooler. So let's go with like outer space. The switch is just delay. All right, cool. I like that with the key change and everything. Now let's just like chop it to make it more like an accent, so it's not like all over the place. Then maybe send that whole thing through some portal just to check. Why not? All right, cool. Now maybe just like reduce the dynamic range of that a little bit. All right, so now it's just like that concept of layers, gang. So from here, I'm thinking, okay, I like the piano so far, but now I want actual keys. So what I'm gonna do is bring those keys in and literally just, well, no, I think I need to change them a little bit actually. Yes. here's what I'm gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And then all these also need to be, well, that doesn't matter. Only this one needs to be shortened. And then we can move this over, right? And it's basically just the same chord. It is just the same chord progression, which is basically, this is dead ass just one chord, honestly. And so excellent. So now I'm gonna export that MIDI as is. Boom, can label that piano chords. Then I'm gonna take that piano chord wave and send it through halftime. Add some EQ. I'm gonna EQ this a little bit too. And we'll bring this pad in, EQ it a little bit. Nothing too crazy with the mixing yet, because I don't want to get caught up on that, really. I want to talk about the melody making for now. And we'll talk a little bit about mixing later. But this is stuff I normally would do, you know, just EQ to get everything to blend better, really. That's all I'm really doing. Maybe some effects on that piano chord. So basically I'll just add some stacks from band for band. So we'll do this really just for the delay. Then we'll add this on for like more reverb and stuff like that. We'll unmask this a little bit more. There we go. And then you know you gotta have that piano bass. So what I'm gonna do is just mute all these chords right here. And actually, I could have just used the shortcut, honestly. Option plus M, take care of that. And then we'll just move these down 3 octaves. 1, 2, 3. Make sure those notes sound good. Sounding dark, bro. Excellent, bro. And then you already know we print to wave just to keep everything just clean, smooth. Really spare the CPU of our laptops and PCs, man. Unless you got like a really good PC build, this I would recommend doing this always on in your DAW, in any DAW, you know what I'm saying? But let's keep it moving. Got the piano bass going. Mute that real quick. And then same thing, just route that. Hell yeah. That shit is sounding dope, bro. And then from here, it's like you could do anything, bro. So I think what I'm thinking now is I have like a dope main instrument that's kind of taking up that main body like frequency area, which if you don't know is kind of like the frequency range around like here from like 200 to 500. I'll put like a little screenshot up on the screen right now, like kind of like explaining a little bit about that, and like I'll link the website down below where I got this. It's a good website. Anyway, I have that pretty much good. Now I want to have like one more sound that can kind of like layer with that for like big sections of the beat, like maybe like a really big bridge, or I don't know if my bridge is going to be more minimal, or maybe like another main instrument that could trade off in that frequency every once in a while. A really good instrument, whether you're layering it or you want it to be another main instrument, is gonna be strings, bro. I'm gonna talk you through a little bit of different things with strings. So like, let's just get into that right now. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go to Contact 7, and Contact Player 7 is free, and all the packs I'm gonna be using today are free in Contact 7. So we'll go here and we'll go to like a really good string. This is one of the best like string patches I've ever used, paid or free. And so we'll go to Untold Strings. All right, let's hear it in context. Maybe we can change the voicing a little bit, have the thirds go on top. And then we can just voice everything down an octave. Okay, I like this as one string layer. So what I'm going to do is do like kind of like 3 or 4 strings in a layer, and that'll give me an opportunity to talk about something else I wanted to talk about. I talked about it in a short, which you guys liked a lot. So I'm glad I'm getting an opportunity to talk about it in a video. But first of all, we're going to drag these strings in here, and we're going to layer a few. These are like long strings, or I guess you could kind of consider these tremolo strings. Tremolo is like kind of like when the sound of the string kind of like vibrates a little bit. Like I'll show you a more explicit example in a second. And then like long kind of like strings or strokes, LOL, is like kind of like just like what you're hearing right now. There's not really as much vibration. It's just kind of like long strums and stuff like that. So we're gonna add like one more instance of that. I don't think we'll do too much tremolo, but I think I'll show you what tremolo is in a second here. So I'm gonna change this patch to this other one, secret strings, and then I'll bring it up an octave to have like a nice lush like string layer to like start. Like the cool thing about like this concept when you're building melodies is not everything has to play at the same time, and not everything even has to stay in the melody and in the beat. You're kind of just like laying down ideas that you think would sound dope. It's kind of like you're a symphony director, composer, whatever. What's the other word? Conductor, I think. Right, yeah, whatever, right? And you're just like trying to like orchestrate, like you're just in band practice or orchestra practice, just like I think these would sound good. Hey, string section, go over here because I think it'll sound better for in the auditorium that we're playing in, and make sure you do plucks instead of strung, or like whatever, right? You're just like playing with ideas. And then we could talk about another video where we do it with synths instead, and even like another video where we layer it and we could turn this into a series and we could do guitars, and it could be great. It would be, I'll even do pain loops. That would be a really interesting thing to see me do on this channel. Y'all usually see me do a specific vibe, but anyway, that's really the key, is that like you get to like be so creative when you think about it from this perspective, but it's about understanding how things layer together. And these acoustic sounds go perfectly together. You've got a nice pad texture with these great keys, then you've got some key chords, you've got your piano bass, and you've got your strings right here, bro. So we're gonna do one more layer of strings. So we'll route both of these here and then route these both to one track so we can kind of like mix them separately, but also mix them together. And the main thing I'm gonna do right now is just compare that. That's fine. And then I'll just like mix it a little bit right here in the console EQ, so that in case I wanna layer them together with the piano, it's like good, but they're not like losing too much body. And then I'll put this like Neoverb preset on there. It's like really good for strings, and Neoverb is dope because it does like the EQ in there for you and stuff like that. It's like a really dope VST. So we can go to like Flex. Well, we already have Flex open right here, right? So all we have to do is turn off the ARP, right? And then we can come here, and this will give me a chance to talk about the difference in strings. So we'll go to like viola. I really still don't know the difference between like viola and violin, but that being said, there are different kinds of viola articulations in Flex, for example, because there are different types of string instrument articulations. And also this goes for like horn instruments and a few other kinds of instruments, but demonstrating it just here will probably help you understand the concept. So there's just regular viola, which I would just consider that like a long string. But also there's pizzicato, I don't know, bro. I don't know how to say it. That's how it's spelled though, right? It sounds more like that. It's more plucky, right? It's the pluck one. It starts with a P. That's how I remember. It's like more plucky, right? There's staccato, which is more like it's like a quick like pull on the strings type shit, or a little like if it was like a staccato for like a brass instrument, like a trumpet. Here's what it would sound like. Type shit, things of that nature, right? But going back to the viola, then this is the sustain. Kind of like sounds like a little bit of a better version of this. That sounds kind of shitty, I'm not gonna lie. But there's one more I want to show you, which is gonna be in BBC Symphony Orchestra. And so this is like a long viola. It's like just normal. Then this is the tremolo. It's just got more of that pizzazz. It's got more of that spice to it. So actually, and now that I think about it, I kind of want to use BBC Symphony Orchestra instead. So I'm going to delete flex, and then I'm just going to do some like staccato strings really quickly. Kind of just adds that nice little transient at the beginning of those strings. It's pretty dope, and you could like add it at different points in the melody to give it like bounce or create like a motif inside of the strings, which I might do real quick. Just simple. Like super simple. It don't even got to be nothing complicated, bro. Just, that's the key. Once you start understanding these little things, then you do like 10 little things in a beat, and all of a sudden the melody sounds way more complicated than it is. Whole time this has been one chord. And that will let you have like a whole little string section where it's just the strings going. If you want some, I might not even keep that, but it's just like a dope little layer that you can have, and it just keeps the vibe like dark, orchestral. And one of the keys is stick with that chord progression, gang. Just trust me, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. And the other thing is keep the sounds contextual. So we're going orchestral, we're staying orchestral. You don't want to like say add like guitars for no reason. Not saying you can't, but it's got to make sense. And for this, so far, it hasn't really made sense. Maybe I'll get an opportunity to demonstrate where it would make sense in an instance like this. Like it up, comment if you want to see another instance where we do guitar and it's orchestral or something, where we add synths. I might add like some synth chords on top of this because it'll give it that nice like metro booming flavor at the end. But this is not like specifically like a synth type of melody. And the other thing is synths, if you like know how to finesse it, can be very well layered in any kind of vibe type shit. But I'm gonna just export that, and then I'll just basically send that to the string stack right here. Doesn't need to be anything too complicated. Engineer can figure out how to separate it when they want to, transient shape it, all that shit. I don't really care. So I might even want to like turn this into a 16 bar real quick type shit where that's a little louder. And maybe I add some transient to that with the transient shaper. Like I was saying, like let the engineer do it and then I come in and do it myself. Just a little bit. For a little bit of that flavor, gang. So that's just gonna make that first like little pokey transient sound a little bit better, but without like making it clash with the piano if I want to like use it with the piano later. I want to have the pad going with that. Okay, dope. Maybe piano bass could go with that too. And these keys. That could be louder. Yeah. Let that second string come in with those staccato. Crazy. So then, I mean, from there, we've already kind of split up the sections a little bit. You could even split it up more where it's just the ARP going with like maybe the piano bass. And like, bro, I mean, let's just add like some synth chords now. This shit is so fun. This is just a video game to me, bro. GMS is what I'm thinking to start. Because I think, if I remember correctly, that's not what I'm looking for, but there was some, I haven't used GMS in a while because I've like literally, they have a digichord. So
Repro has a digichord patch that is like my favorite thing, and that's what I was gonna say. Repro's had me in this nasty chokehold lately, bro. And I love that. I wish you could favorite stuff in GMS. I don't know why I never noticed this before, but that's why I haven't been in GMS in a while. I've just, bro, and you know, if you've been paying attention, bro, like Repro chokehold crazy, but I might have to run GMS back because that is sounding fire. So what I'm gonna do is just basically copy these chords, and then one of the real differences I've noticed between like stock and paid VSTs is like it's like the patches are better mixed right out of the box from like paid VSTs, especially the more like expensive and like high end stuff. That's why a lot of them require so much CPU sometimes too, is because like it's whole like this damn near mastering the sounds like while creating and generate. It's like it's crazy type shit. But then also mixing in, adding effects, processing, resampling. It's like crazy. But so I'm just gonna do a little bit of that to GMS. I'll probably just patcherize this once I get like some dope chords laid down, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm just gonna copy this patch right here, the MIDI, and then paste it in here. Can we sound design that just a little bit? No, now we're trapping, gang. Come on. What is this? Will we go lower? Nah. Maybe some like bass notes though. That's the only thing. Just like not even like low, just like left hand notes really. That's really the key. Simple. All right, let's patcherize it now. Let's start with like an equalizer, which we'll just do parametric EQ2, so it doesn't cost me any more processing. And then let's see if we can saturate this with some little radiator. So we'll send that through there next. So I'm just building my stack right now, and then I'll come back and kind of like work on it a little bit. And then let's actually do some delay in front of that saturation. Or let's actually do it after, because I want to compress down a couple of effects. So let's do like outer space. And then I'll do like a compressor, which this is a free compressor. And then so now we'll just work these effects. I want to definitely, and actually something I want to do instead is put this cymatics origin right here to like reduce the sample rate of the digichord, and then I'll EQ from there. So let's find that right there. There we go. Fire, bro. Right. And then just round out a little bit right there. Perfect. Little radiator. All right, outer space. I'm gonna go for that Astro preset most likely. Yeah. And then now I'm just gonna use this compressor to like basically compress down those sounds, which is gonna give the entire thing just like a new character. And then I'm gonna give those just a little bit of transient right before coming into the compressor. Let's give it more transient coming out of the equalizer, going into little radiator. All right, cool. And then we're just going to export that so we can close that ridiculously strenuous patcher stack in the channel rack. That's OD. My laptop is begging me. Please. Yeah, I got you, gang, right now. Yeah, 55 for the channel rack. We're not even mixing yet, bro. There's nothing on the master. It's also because I'm recording, but like even just like look at that render time. It's ridiculous. If I didn't know any better, I think it was going to crash, which is fucking insane. But that being said, now we can close that, I think. Let's just double check to make sure everything's okay. Nah, F it. We can close it. Nice. And that's just like a nice layer that you can add on top of anything. If you want like some nice synth chords. Oh, I have a super dope idea, bro. And then just to like sauce this up, because just to like, I don't know, just this is literally just a real-time creative idea I just thought of. I want to have like kind of like a verse section where it's kind of like even more repetitive, if that makes sense. So maybe something like this. Let's see if I can get it without really even hearing it. And then what I'm going to do is make this pad unique. And then, right, I'm going to increase the octave. Almost. It sounded more like this. Yeah. That's crazy, gang. And like one last thing, you gotta add that bass, bro. And I'm tight that I closed GMS because I'm probably gonna go back to that. Although to keep it a band with you, bro, I know I wanted to keep it all stock, but we got to go repro for this. God forbid we get a crash, though. We have not had a crash the entire time, and we're not going to have one, gang. That's what I like to see. So real quick, like I said, we don't actually have anything on the master, and I'm going to go ahead and just put something on there really quickly, just for a little bit of loudness. It doesn't really need it. It's just like force a habit. I like remembered to do it right now. So that's literally just the workflow, gang. I'll just give it 1 dB because it didn't really need anything so far, but I'm a loudness junkie. So we've got repro open, and if you know what we're finna do. There's no secrets here, gang. There are no secrets at all. We're going to that bassline patch. And really, you ain't even got to be all extra with the bassline, bro. The key is just simple, good notes and a really good patch, bro. That's the key. The key is really the patch and then not playing the wrong note on the bass notes. That's really it. That hoe gonna always sound like it's doing more than it is, because it's just hard, bro. And then you just have like a spot where you change the notes where it makes sense for the chord progression. Now you could get into having all the synth bass runs and stuff like that, but like honestly, that shit is gonna make your beat worse more so often than it's gonna make it better most of the time. So I don't even do it a lot. Artists like it better when I don't. I like it better when I don't. Listeners like it better when I don't. And so I'm not going to go out of my way to demonstrate something like that. But if you've heard my beats before, I get into that. And so the tip that I could give you for that is practice, right? Like if you were gonna, like if I play bass guitar and I can do pretty decent bass lines, if I'm just playing the root note at like 100 BPM, I can definitely keep up. But I'm not going to be doing anything like Thundercat anytime, probably not in this lifetime, right? Or like Eric Wooten or like any of those, super just ridiculously god level bassists, because I don't have that level of skill. I don't understand the music of it that much, and that's what it is. There's nothing I could tell you, oh, go to the fifth, do this quarter note thing. It's not really like that. It's just a understanding of musicality, which is why you start here, and then when it makes sense in certain tracks, then you start adding all these ridiculous slide notes and all these octave changes. But a lot of times that's gonna make your track worse than it's gonna make it better. It's like very situational. Read The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, for the love of God. But enough waffling. I think we could go ahead and export this bass. Yeah, hell yeah, that's sounding crazy. That's all basically free and stock VSTs except for the bass, which we could have done. I'm pretty sure
GMS would have had something very comparable. It's just, I say it a lot and I mean it. When you find a good bass, the one thing you don't want to waste time searching for is the bass, bro. If you have one that works, just keep using it. I don't care, bro. I'm gonna say that forever. But anyway, go ahead and close repro, have some mercy on the CPU of my laptop, and then let's go ahead. We could pretty much close everything at this point. So let's give the final melody a listen, gang. All right, absolutely fire. I didn't expect to make something that like I'd actually want to send out to my sendouts list, but yeah, this is getting sent out. I'm gonna finish it up and I'm gonna just finish it and turn it into a beat. So if you want to see me do that, pull up to stream later. I'm probably gonna edit this, do some publishing stuff, and then I'm gonna get on stream and cook up. So you know how it go. I'll see you later. I love you so much. Thank you so much for your attention. Follow my Spotify. I'm really trying to hit 5,000 monthly listeners by Christmas. It would be a great gift to me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.